Hi and welcome to my God Pastor channel. This Advent season, I found something in The Pursuit of God by A.W. Tozer, Aiden Wilson it stands for, that hits just the right note, the right spiritual note for me. Tozer was a 20th century Christian writer and pastor and a student of Christian mysticism. And this arguably is one of his most popular works. And I love this little book. Tozer talks about the intentional cultivation of the practice of longing. Now, you know what longing is. You've experienced longing in your life, in relationships, both romantic and in platonic relationships, friendships. You've longed for a spouse, a family, maybe children or a friend. You've also experienced longing in the materialistic sense as well, when you yearned for a house, maybe a pair of boots, a piece of furniture, or even a car. Tozer talks about the cultivation of supernatural yearning, longing to encounter more of the holy, this holy discontent that desires most in the world to comprehend and experience deeper the personhood of their God and Maker. Tozer writes, I venture to suggest that the one vital quality which they, meaning all the saints of the Bible that God worked with, had in common was spiritual receptivity. Something in them was open to heaven, something which urged them Godward. They wanted to taste, to touch with their hearts, to see with their inner eyes the wonder that is God. Without attempting anything like a profound analysis, I shall simply say that they had spiritual awareness and that they went on to cultivate it until it became the biggest thing in their lives. They differed from the average person in that when they felt the inward longing, they did something about it. They acquired the lifelong habit of spiritual response. As David put it neatly, when you, God, said, seek my face, my heart said to you, your face, Lord, will I seek. I love that example from Psalm 27 of spiritual yearning and then action, leaning into it. I think that's Paul's I want to know Christ. Yes, to know the power of his resurrection and participation in his sufferings, becoming like him in his death, and so somehow attaining to the resurrection from the dead. And he adds, not that I have already obtained all this or arrived at my goal, but I press on. I think that's the most beautiful, unguarded outburst of longing in the Bible, and I'm so glad Paul recorded it just as he experienced it. What we are talking about here is the state of a Christian saint whose entire posture of life is Godward, who is perpetually insatiable for holy things. Tozer writes, acute desire must be present, or there will be no manifestation of Christ to his people. He waits to be wanted. I think Advent is just a perfect time to sort of take a measure of that longing in ourselves. Check your own pulse for that. But I'm not going to say to you, come on, just long more. Because there is mystery to this. It's not a quantifiable longing. But here is the good news, and it's twofold. Advent is the season that naturally, by design, culminates in the manifestation of Christ. So lean into the yearning of this entire season. And secondly, longing for God begets more longing for God. Because every longing is rewarded with finding. Longing is rewarded with that manifestation, and that in turn begets more yearning. It's a wondrous process that fits, I think, so beautifully with this wondrous season of Advent, of waiting for the manifestation of Christ.